going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of Sports to the Wire. For those of you who are new to the channel, I am your host, as always, Rasheed White. Alright, so about 2 weeks ago, I did a video saying that I was actually wrong about MJ not being the GOAT that LeBron is. And then I watched old man Michael Jordan, and I was wrong when I saw him really kind of like really analyze him as a basketball player, not just sit there and just watch. And so in the comment section, people were saying like, oh, you know, Rasheed, you got to look at Wilt Chamberlain over here, man. Like, Wilt Chamberlain's the GOAT, you know, because of how dominant he was. Now, I'm 44 years old, man. This is way before I was born that Chamberlain was actually playing. But let's watch some Wilt Chamberlain clips there, and let's see whether, you know, basically how Wilt Chamberlain, how dominant he was. I'm looking at the skill set. I'm not looking at the points, you know, that he averaged. I just want to see how great of a player Wilt Chamberlain actually truly was, though. You know, so that's the main thing in terms of his skill. All right, let's get rid of this stuff over here. All right, let's get into it. All right, let me turn the volume down too, because YouTube, man, with the volume and everything. All right, so this comes from Fuba Sports right here. I mean, you see how big he is, man, compared to the other players that's going against him. Bigger than the other players that are that are actually. Let's see. All right, so the one thing I can say about Wilt Chamberlain, that for a guy his size, he actually runs the floor really, really, really well for a guy his size. Yeah, look at that. Whew, damn. Yeah, so he's just like bigger than every single person over here. He has like a 7, probably a 6-inch advantage over them, and then you look at how long his arms are. I mean, this is not that many players that I'm seeing over here that could really just match up to him physically. Now, and they also not really double teaming him. Guys aren't really getting back on defense from these clips that I actually see. Let me see real quick. Because yeah, they didn't have, I don't know if they knew any type of zone defense to put a wall around Wilt to see if he can actually do other things. All right, they actually do got a wall around him. It just didn't matter. All right, so I'm looking at skill. When you say the GOAT, the greatest of all time, it's not just putting up a bunch of numbers. A lot of guys can actually pull up numbers. I mean, you saw Donovan Mitchell put up the 71 points. You know, when I did MJ, it wasn't about I think how much would he average? Like 32 points a game for his career. I'm just looking at like the skill, the shooting, the footwork, the passing. Can they play multiple positions? Free throw shooting. There's a lot of different variables that we're looking at with MJ. Moving without the basketball, and you know, I want to see more skill. Like if you look at Hakeem Olajuwon and the post moves, the footwork that he actually have, that Wilt Chamberlain had that, or he just can overpower people, man. So even though he's actually dribbling, even though he's actually dribbling the basketball, guys aren't going to get in his way at all, man. I mean, this dude is like a freight train coming down. And who was it? I think it was, I forgot what basketball player, what form, I forgot who it was. I think it was I forgot who actually said these guys were, you know, in the off season they didn't really train. They were doing like other jobs besides training and playing basketball. Where in today's NBA, even like in the 90s and the 80s and 90s, I mean, these guys got paid a lot of money where they're constantly working out. So each year, the athletes get better and better and better, especially the more money that was actually being generated for these players, where they can actually make a full-time living off this, man, where this is to eat nothing but eat, sleep, live basketball. And then in terms of their constant workouts, 3-4 hour workouts a day, and then also probably about 4 or 5 hours of skill development. Man, he's just huge, man. He's a huge guy. I mean, these guys look like high school kids, like 14-year-olds. Just look how big he is, man. That was a good pass right there. All right. So we can see he's actually a really good passer. All right, excellent pass. Ooh, you saw he just hit the. I mean, that was just unconscious right there, man. All right, so he has some type of a shooting touch right there, where he can, you know, use the angles, use the glass right there. All right, so he can actually shoot. See, all right, so in today's NBA, he's automatically getting double teamed right there. You know, you can see there's a lot of single coverage. Automatically would be double teamed. So that's one of the key things I actually want to see here is, does he get doubled a lot? Do they run different defenses at him? Boxing one. Let me see. All right, showing some finesse right there. All right, so his fadeaway shot will be going to his. MJ can go right or go left with that fadeaway shot. All right, so that's some skill right there. I mean, even though the players are actually smaller, those shots are not actually easy to get off. All right, some decent footwork there. Alright, trying to see where the double team is actually coming from. Pretty decent post-up player. Alright, so yeah, I guess he wasn't really affected by pressure, seems like. I mean, this I don't know who that was, came over to try to help and challenge the shot. He actually still made it. Alright, so he's being triple teamed there. Again, so he has, like I said, he has a 5 or 6 inch height differential. And then look at his arms, man. He must have had like a 7'8", 7'9" wingspan on top of him. I forgot his height. I think he was like 7 feet. But the length of his arms actually makes a real true difference. So a lot of these players over here look a lot smaller. That's good defense. It's better offense. Good turnaround shot. So it takes a lot of skill to see for Wilt to be pulling this stuff off. Honestly, though, definitely Wilt Chamberlain can actually block some shots. Yeah, that hook shot was so smart. See, that was MJ right there. MJ would actually read that. He actually sees, okay, Wilt is actually coming left to try to block my left-hand hook shot. Let me turn right real quick. And then Wilt Chamberlain recovers and tries to block that. He's the up and under move. So we don't really see, you know, like the offensive repertoire from these players wasn't on a level that, you know, MJ had to go against and other bigs had to go against. You're talking about back in those days, Hakeem Olajuwon. You had so many good offensive players, Eddie Jones and Magic Johnson. I mean, they didn't have any of these guys back then to go that Wilt Chamberlain actually had to guard. All right, so let me conclude this over here. Let me wrap it up. Now, in terms of numbers, yes, Wilt Chamberlain was really good. But, you know, in terms of skill, when you're talking about like the GOAT, the greatest of all time, no, that's not a great three-point shooter. Ball handling, really good passer. But, you know, defensively, he was really good. But then again, he's going against like really kind of shorter players. I think his, like I said, his height, I believe, was about 7 feet. But the wingspan from him is actually really ridiculous, man. I mean, you look at his arms, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. You know, that's like me going against like these little 13, 14-year-olds that I play with sometimes, and I teach them how to play. And it's no contest, man. When you got the weight